Video Science, Flowering Plants with Mr. Jaffe. Springtime in New York City. All around us, flowers are blooming. As we walk through all the parks of the city, we see beautiful colors of almost every shape and size. Flowers are open. And it's not just the flowers, but we're starting to see insects arriving to visit the flowers. What are they doing when we see honeybees like this one visiting a blossom in a tree? Just what is so important to an insect? Hi, welcome to Video Science. Today, we're going to be talking about flowering plants. Now, most every plant that you see has a flower at one point or another, whether it's a flower that you know, like a daisy, a tulip, or a rose, or a flower that you may not know yet, like this hibiscus flower. I've got some water for my plants I'm going to put down for a minute while we talk about flowers. What are flowers doing on the top of plants, and why are they so special? Well, insects know. Let's go over the parts of a flower so we can get a handle on what's going on. Check it out. First of all, we've got this part that you know, the petals. The petals are very colorful. We'll talk about what that means in just a minute. Then we've got this part here. This long part is called the pistil. The pistil is where the pollen is going to collect. The pollen are those tiny dots, and the pollen is important. We'll talk about that in just a second. Go all the way down the pistil, and you get to this part of the flower called the ovary. The ovary is where essentially the eggs of the plant are, and also where you're going to find the nectar. And who's going to want to come get the nectar? Lots of insects. Insects like bees. Oh, hello, Fred. How are you doing today? Insects like bees will come and land on the petals of the plant for the nectar. And while they land on the petals of the plant for the nectar, there are combs on their leg, little structures called combs on their back legs here. Thanks a lot. Very nice to see you. Can I pet you while you get some nectar there? Oh, and I see you're collecting some pollen on your legs. What are you going to do with that pollen? Where are you going to go? Well, our friend is going to go to another flower to get more nectar. Bees need nectar when they're flying around to keep their energy going because the nectar's got sugar in it. That's right, the sugar for the bees. And the bees will fly back to their hive, but before they get there, of course, the pollen collects on their legs. And when they land, some of that pollen is going to dust off on this flower here, on this hibiscus flower, and that's what's going to make new flowers happen. Down here in the ovary, the seeds develop, and then the fruit appears. And we know everyone loves fruits. Whether it's a fruit that you eat, like an apple, or a fruit that you might not eat, like some of the fruit that grows on grasses out in the parks. Fruits are very important for seeds to get spread around. Let's not leave without talking about a couple other parts here. We've got the stem to hold the flower up and the leaf to help gather the sun's energy to be able to make that flower in the first place. And that's about it for flowers. Let's check out what else is going on with some flowering plants around America. Los Angeles, California. You might recognize the bee on the right, but on the left is a butterfly you may have seen before, the painted lady visiting the lavender blossoms. The butterfly takes nectar from the flower before flying away. And here is a dogbane beetle in Massachusetts taking off. On the Apontia Cactus, beautiful yellow flower blossoms open in McAllen, Texas. And if you look close, you can see ants and other insects visiting the blossoms. It's very hot down in South Texas, a great home for a cactus like the Apontia, sometimes called a prickly pear. You'd better take the spines off before you try to eat those fruits, and they're not even ripe yet anyway. What are some flowering plants that you see around your neighborhood? Are they all open at the same time? Do you think the colorful flowers attract birds, bees, and other insects? Why not see if you can draw a picture of some of the flowers that you see in your neighborhood coming out right now? Thanks for watching. See you next time. Scrambles, do you like science?